Hey friends, Allison here. I wanted to pop in and introduce myself. I haven't done that yet here on my channel, and I thought this would be the prime time to do that. It is a new year, and as with all New Year's, we start thinking about our scrappy goals for the year, what we would like to accomplish, what we would like to do through the year. I'm no different. I have been thinking about that a lot as well. I have my little list here. There's a lot of other writing on it too, but I wrote out my list for this year. I do have some scrappy goals for 2022. I have my tea as well. Can't have any crafty time without my tea. And I also wanted to share with you what my personal goals are. I have some personal goals as well for 2022. And I thought there'd be no better way to keep myself accountable than by sharing that with you as well. So to start, I'm going to share with you my scrappy goals. First and foremost, if you tuned into my channel yesterday, you'll know that I did a walkthrough sort of refresher of my October daily. I started working on that before December daily, and I took a break from that to work on my December daily, and I'm going to complete that. I got about halfway through. I want to say it's right to my left here. How far did I get? Day 13, so just about halfway through. I'd like to complete that. Once that is done, my plan is to tackle the Pieces of Me and Pieces of Home project that Ellie had done this last year in 2021, Ellie Edwards. I've never done them before, so this is new for me. I got all the pictures done. I followed all the prompts. I just haven't scrapbooked it yet. So that is something that I would like to do after I'm done my October daily. So that's three things on my list so far. In terms of my scrapbooking this year, I'm at kind of a crossroads. A little bit of background info for you. If you are not familiar with me or my channel, I started my scrappy journey as a close to my heart consultant. I became a consultant in 2014, and just in the last year, at the end of 2020 or sometime in 2021, the beginning of, I dropped it. It got to be too expensive. I was trying to help supplement our income by trying to sell it. And I'm not a salesperson. I tried, I gave it a good valiant effort, but it got too expensive to support myself as a consultant. So I dropped it, but I love creating. I have been creating for 20 years, at least, if not longer, and have played with a lot of product over the years. So this last year, 2021 and into this year, has really been sort of been an experimental year for me, trying out different companies and collections and seeing what jives with me and what sticks. And I feel like I've reached a crossroads in terms of my crafting. I still have a lot of close to my heart stuff in my stash, so don't get me wrong, there'll be a lot of that being used in my crafting still, but I'm really looking at making my scrapbooking more meaningful and getting more out of it. I'm tired of just your generic run-of-the-mill everyday stories that have the same titles over and over again, the birthdays, the Christmases, the big milestones. I want to dive deeper. My computer screen just turned off. And tell stories that are more meaningful and share different aspects of myself and my family, things that we're going through, our hopes, our dreams, our goals, what makes us tick, and filling in the gaps, I think, is what I'm trying to say. I don't think that is going to be on 12 by 12 canvases. I really, really enjoyed last year when I did December daily. I switched to 6 by 8. I did that again this year, and I really like that size. I really enjoy being able to make space for words. On 12 by 12, that's a lot harder to do. I could handwrite my journaling, but my writing is big and bubbly and takes up a lot of space, and I found it hard to mesh everything together and incorporate it into a design that I was really happy with. I find that a smaller canvas like 6 by 8 is way easier to manage, and I'm able to do that a lot better on a smaller canvas. So I'm thinking that this year I will be moving to a smaller canvas. I was also experimenting with traveler's notebooks before I started doing December daily. So that was a 3 by 8 size canvas. I like that size as well, but I really, really like the 6 by 8. So I think I'm going to be sticking with that for the time being. Hand in hand with that, I've started thinking about what manufacturers, my phone keeps sliding down. So when it slides down, you can see my shelf right above me, and I don't want you to see it. So, because I think it looks messy, so I keep moving it up. Hand in hand with that is what manufacturers am I going to focus on for this year with the changes that I want to make to my crafting. I've got it narrowed down to 2 different manufacturers, first being Ellie Edwards. And quite honestly, for the time being, I think I'm going to probably subscribe to Ellie for this year. I'm really liking the idea of the Stories by the Month kits, and I think I will subscribe to it. There is a prompt included with each of the kits, and I think that's a fantastic, for me at least, jumping off point to help me achieve my Scrappy goals this year. The other company that I'm really thinking of eventually subscribing to is Ellie Studio. I really, really like Ellie Studio. I don't know if it's Ellie herself or if it's Megan Andrew, or I don't know who it is, but somebody at Ellie Studio is taking the time to invite me to events that they're holding on Facebook, and that made a huge impact on me. As a business owner, to reach out to somebody and invite them to join in what they have going on, to me is the mark of a really good leader and a great strategy for a business person. If I was a business person and still a close to my heart consultant and was just nailing it every month, I would be doing the same thing. So because of that, I'm really, really thinking of Ellie Studio. I am ordering some of the kits kind of here and there as I have some disposable income to add to my stash. But those are my 2 that I'm thinking of. To begin with, I am going to test the waters with Ellie Edwards and see how I like scrapbooking with the Stories by the Month kit. I'm also thinking about participating in Crystal's, there it goes again, Story Kit Crush, and as a source of inspiration to kind of help me ease into scrapbooking in this way. So that's number 4. I'm just trying to collect my thoughts here. I am still sticking with Scrapbook Nerd for another term, so I do still have Scrapbook Nerd design team layouts that I'm going to be doing and videos for them as well. You'll see them here on my channel and also over on Scrapbook Nerd's channel. You're also going to see them on my Instagram because everything I post to YouTube does end up going to Instagram as well. If you'd like to join me over there, I'll leave the link down in the description box so you can join me on Instagram. I also wanted to invite you to my Facebook group. I do have a Facebook group, and it's small and it's humble right now, but I'd love to have more people join me. My goal with that is to share more of the behind the scenes, make it a little bit more personal than YouTube is. I'll leave the link to that as well down in the description box. If you'd like to join me over there, that would be awesome. So that was sort of a parentheses. Back to Scrapbook Nerd. Along with doing my design team layouts and such for Scrapbook Nerd, I'm also going to be holding Scrapbook Lives over on their Facebook group twice a month. So every second Thursday. And it's going to be scrapping your stash centered and themed. So if you'd like to join me there, I'll leave the link to Scrapbook Nerd as well, to their Facebook group. It is open to everybody, as well as my group as well. So anybody can join, and you'll find a ton of inspiration there as well. Joy does ship internationally. So if you check out her shop, which is scrapbooknerd.com, she will ship to you as well, which is fantastic. She's amazing. She will get things in if she doesn't currently have it as quickly as she can, just considering everything that's going on these days with the craziness that shipping is and the world that we're living in. But to help kind of get us past our stashes and getting them used up, and actually helping Joy get her stuff out of the shop that's older so she can make room for new stuff, is the reason why we're doing these Scrapbook Lives. So stick around for that as well. The more people, the merrier. I've shared all of this. These are my Scrappy Goals, with the knowledge that my life could be turned upside down this year in 2022 with our family moving. Currently, my house is not listed. We pulled it off the market in December because nothing was happening. We, through October and November, had a lot of showings. We had a lot of interest in our house, but no bites. And then it totally dropped off and we had nothing. So we pulled it off. I pulled it off the market, and I'm going to list again in March. And fingers crossed, something happens this time around, and we get moved and settled before school starts next September. I'd really like to be able to take the summer and get moved and settled so that we have time to kind of explore our new city and get comfortable in our home, find a school for the twins to go to, and be ready for school when it starts in September. So some things may be put on hold for a little bit while we get moved, if that is in the cards. So I think I'll be sticking to these, but I don't know how to put it really succinctly. I don't want to say I'm loosely going to stick to it, because I'm not loosely, I want to get it done, but things may change is what I'm trying to say. Okay, I got to make this really quick because I got to go right away here and do lunchtime bolus for my daughter. So quickly, my personal goals. Oh my goodness. I am opening a can of worms by sharing this with you. When COVID hit, I let myself go. I think a lot of people did. I was walking regularly, and actually had been for a few years. I went through a radical transformation personally. When I started walking, I lost over 100 pounds up till that point. And then when COVID hit, I quit doing it. I stopped walking. There was fear, right? Back then, a lot of people, we didn't know what was going on. We didn't know if the big bad bug was going to come and get us kind of thing and stuff like that. And so, and then of course, with schools being canceled and doing online schooling, our schedules changed and everything. And so I quit walking. And that was the worst thing I could have done for myself personally, not only for my health, but my mental health as well. My mental health has taken a huge kicking over the last 2.5 years with COVID and not walking, especially not walking regularly. And so my biggest goal for 2022 is to make walking a regular part of my schedule again. I started today, FYI. I like to keep to about 45 minutes. I think that is fairly close to the amount of time that I walk throughout the summer. So like over the winter, I go to our regular leisure center and walk the track there. It's harder to calculate the kilometers that I walk on the track than it is just when I walk out in nature on the street. So my route I figured was about like 40 or 45 minutes kind of thing. So I'm sticking to that. So whatever I walk in 45 minutes is perfect. My goal is to walk 45 minutes. Most days of the week, I do usually take every other Tuesday off because of groceries. And then when unforeseen things come up, I don't walk on those days either. Sometimes I will try and make it up later in the day or on the weekend, but for the most part, I walk Monday through Friday and then take the weekends off. The other part of my goal personally is to beef up my water intake and to hydrate. I drill that into my daughter, especially when she's high. The best thing you can do for yourself is drink. So getting back to drinking water as well is huge for me. And the reason I'm focusing on this again, number one, is because I have to. I have to get my mental health back to where it was. I struggle a lot with anxiety. Doing my Facebook Live here right now is it's tough to do. And, but I've gotten quite a bit better at public speaking over the last couple of years. And so the anxiety is not as bad anymore, but I do really suffer from anxiety, social anxiety. And I noticed a huge difference when I was walking and when I was at my peak, my best. This comes up because my word for 2022, very loosely, I'm not really going to do any like one little word scrapbooking or anything like that because I don't think I'll stick with it. I've never stuck with one little word in the past. I do think of a word for the year, but then that's about as far as I go. This year might be a little bit different because I'm actively going to pursue it. I have a plan and I'm slowly going to work at it through the year and see what happens. And I hope that I stick to it. And through this video, sharing it with you, I hope you guys keep me accountable because otherwise I won't stick with it. So I would appreciate your help. Check in once in a while and ask how things are going and stuff like that and how I'm doing, and that would be great. So that's it for me, friends. That's my goals for 2022. I've totally bared my heart through this video and shared with you personal parts of me, especially personally, and it's good. I'm looking forward to 2022. I think it's going to be a fantastic year and it can only go up from here, right? Thank you so much for joining me today, friends. I hope you enjoyed my video. I hope you consider sticking around with me through 2020 and seeing where the year takes us, both creatively and personally as well. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. And if you're new to my channel and you haven't subscribed, maybe consider doing that. I create a lot with my Cricut. It has become my first love in scrapbooking, especially in the last several months. it's my go-to tool when I sit down to scrapbook. So there'll be a lot of that shared here. And of course, if you're looking for inspiration, then definitely swing by because there's lots of that here. I'll be back again soon with more creative inspiration. Thank you again for joining me, friends. Happy Monday. I hope you have a fantastic day and a fantastic week, and I'll be back again soon. Bye.